I was at the point of hating my life. People said home, sweet home, but it wasn't sweet for me. Just by sitting in the quiet room, I was suffering from loneliness and boredom. The light in the room was dark. I didn't know how my landlord designed the room, but the light was dim enough to be gloomy. My instinct was like a mayfly. I missed the bright light and the loud noise from the casino. At this point, I had to admit that I was addicted to the gambling. That's what I thought I was on the way to the casino. I played the game without any feelings. I felt like my brain was as cold as ice to be rational. Winning on the blackjack table didn't make me excited anymore, so I betted more money into it so I could feel the stimulation. I realized my nerves got numb by small wins. $100. It was enough money for me to feel the pleasant and the sorrow. I realized what Demian meant. Time passed fast, and I didn't lose anything, or gain anything until 1:12 a.m. I was frustrated that I couldn't make any money. I couldn't leave. I felt like my ass was attached to the chair. I sat on the table straight for 7 hours. When the new dealer came, I saw the card was stacked enough to shuffle. I betted another $100 and waited to see what I could get. The new dealer gave me the blackjack. It was a good start, and I strongly believed that the next card would be another good card. I witnessed uncountable victories, and there was no reason to step back. After the blackjack, I betted $250. The next card was 20. I nodded, and as I assumed, I tapped on my arm. Rationally, I could leave, but it didn't exceed my expectations. I believed I could win more. I stacked the chips. $500 on the table in green chips was an exaggerated amount. I took a deep breath and waited for the next card. People on the table were looking at my chips, and they wished me luck. I smiled excitedly and waited. It was only a few seconds, but all my senses were reacting like fireworks popping. Once I saw the first face card. I tapped the table to wish for the ace. Dealer Friendly smiled and tapped on my table to wish a blackjack for me. I had a good feeling. The next card I had another face card, but not the pair. Dealer opened the card. The card that the dealer had was an ace. I felt my heart drop from the sky.
Insurance open.
My heart was pumping, but nobody on the table betted on the insurance. I swallowed saliva and dried my mouth.
Insurance closed.
The dealer checked the card and flipped the card. I knew what it meant.
Dealer blackjack.
Dealer saw my cards, and he took the chip carefully. Once I saw the chips collapse, my sanity collapsed. The disappointment made my heart stop for a few seconds. Just like that, I lost my $500 on a table. I sighed, and my consciousness was zoned out for a few seconds. I couldn't just leave the table. I had to make the $500 back. I had $100 amount of chips on my table, and I betted all the chips on the table. I had to win another 3 games straight to get back the money. Another game started within a minute. I had 14, and the dealer had Diamond 6 as an opening card. The dealer busted as expected. I gained my money back, but I couldn't leave yet. I just lost $500. I can't leave the casino without any outcome. I betted $200, and the guy who sat beside me said,
"You're like a jackpot or die-hard kind of guy. I like your style."
"Thank you." I got the ace as the first card, and I tapped the table with my palm softly. I was praying to the God that I never believed in to get the blackjack. The guy beside me said, "Let's go," and laughed excitedly for me. I was the one getting the attention, just like Demian. I took a deep breath out with the nose, and the guy next me got the face card. I started to feel nervous in a few seconds, and once I saw the clover too. I laughed futilely. It wasn't horrible. I still had a chance. The dealer's opening card was a heart K. I had to hit, and once I got the number 7, I thought I would win, or at least push. I took a deep breath relaxingly and watched the dealer's next card. The dealer had 16, and I believed I would win. I blinked, and the dealer opened the next card. The next card was a spade number 5. I couldn't calculate the numbers correctly at first. Dealer looked at my cards, and he took the chips from my table.
Bullshit.
That was what the guy beside me said instead. I couldn't accept the fact that I lost. I zoned out, and I couldn't leave the table for a few seconds. My hands were already moving toward my wallet. There were still a few $100 bills left on my wallet, and my hands were shaking under the table. I pulled out another couple $100, and I chip it in. I betted small amount after the big losses. I won a couple games, and I betted twice the amount every time I won, so I could get back the money quickly. I was tired, and the fatigue made me impatient. All I could think about was the fact that I lost $700, including the money I won. The pressure of winning the money back made me feel impatient. I won a couple games and made $100. I could recover my losses if I won another $100, but I couldn't think of going home after the recovery. Then my money is wasted. The fatigue was like a sand glass in my deep consciousness. I was aware the time was running out for me. I rubbed my eyes to wake up and betted all the chips that I had. It was approximately $350. I couldn't count properly. The game started, and I got the heart 9 and the diamond 2. I could double down if I had money, but I didn't have any chips on me, and I was not confident enough to double down. The guy beside me had 12. He doubled down, and he had a face card. He was busted. It was my turn to decide. I looked at the cards that other players had. There were too many face cards on the table. I hitted. I had no other choice. Spade ace showed up. I had 12. I was still safe. I hit it again, and another ace showed up. I had a total of 13. Those small cards dried my blood in my head. I hit it again. I was expecting number 8 to complete 21, but I got the number 9. I got busted. I covered my face with 2 hands and looked at my chips taken by the dealer. The dealer opened the card. The card he had was Clover 7. The dealer had a total of 16, and his next card was number 4. All tables were lost, and the people entertained by me looked at me with hostility. I realized they were like hyenas. I stood up from the table and walked out from the game room. The whole night was like a nightmare to me. It was the first time I lost money in the casino, and it was $400. If I included the money I won, then I lost $900. I looked at the exit sign once again. The door was like a door to escape from the nightmare. The night air was chilly. As soon as I got out of the casino, I lit the fire on the cigarette that I was holding. The cigarette tasted bitter more than any other time. I sat at the bench nearby and looked at the casino sign. I hated myself that I couldn't control myself, but I still had the gains from the casino. I believed it was just a nightmare-like night that I had. I wanted to go back, but I could barely open my eyes. I felt like I was about to pass out. I woke myself up with a bitter cigarette taste and drove home. Losing money must be a traumatic experience for me. I had a nightmare of losing the tower of chips, and the sound of the plastic chip castle collapsing woke me up. The sun was in the middle of the sky. It was exactly 1:01 p.m. when I woke up. I started my weekend with a can of beer and 4 sausages. After a meal, I stepped out of my room and had another can of beer with a cigarette. I drank as much as I could to get tipsy. All I could think of in the sanity was the light from the casino and the noise from the casino. After 5 cans of beer, I started to feel a little bit tipsy, and I felt my face was blushing, but thoughts of the casino were not erased. I impulsively desired more to gamble. The weather was too nice to go to the casino. In front of the entrance of the casino, I promised myself, I will only gain back the money I lost, just $400. I promised myself that I will get the money back and leave without hesitation. I had 1 cigarette before I entered the casino,